It's time for high school sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Today's broadcast of high school sports on the NCWLIFE channel is presented by Alignment Pros, Automoca, Color FX, Global Car Care, One Way Construction, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Biosports Physical Therapy, and the Windmill Restaurant. Now let's go live for all the action for tonight's coverage of high school sports on your home for local sports, the NCWLIFE channel.
Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to Eastmont High School. We've got a great Big Nine match here tonight between the Eastmont Wildcats and the Moses Lake Chiefs. Moses Lake, the perennial powerhouse in state wrestling for so many years, since the 1950s. This year, surprisingly, 0-1 in their dual match as they lost a week ago to Sunnyside. Eastmont, meanwhile, traveled on the road. They were able to knock off West Valley. So Eastmont 1-0, Moses Lake 0-1, but it's early and there's a lot of wrestling to be done, and we're expecting some great matches here tonight. A lot of these wrestlers faced each other just a weekend ago at the Inland Empire Classic, and they'll meet each other again here tonight. We've got also some girls matches that we're going to feature here on two mats at the same time. So our challenge will be for our camera crew and for yours truly to keep a track of what's happening. It is Eastmont and Moses Lake, and we'll come back with Jaime Garza, the head coach of Moses Lake, right after this timeout on the NCWLIFE channel.
The pros, Alignment Pros. When your vehicle needs brakes, shocks, struts, or alignment, choose the experts in their field. Alignment Pros and Express Lube with a 5-star rating. The work they perform on your vehicle is as impeccable as their shop. With state-of-the-art equipment, Alignment Pros can handle all large or small vehicles, specialty cars, lifted or lowered. Alignment Pros does them all. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Pregame show continues here on the NCWLIFE channel, getting ready for Moses Lake at Eastmont. Now talking with Jaime Garza, the head coach for Moses Lake. Well, Coach, it's early in the year. You've had a couple of tournaments so far. How are the kids coming?
We're progressing. It's a young team, and with that being said, there's quite a bit to work on, but I'm liking the way we're moving throughout this season so far. You know, there's a few things that I wish we could have changed. Last weekend, you know, you guys had a great match with our Tanguma, and your guys' 120-pounder, so I'm very excited for this match tonight.
Absolutely. When you get so many of those early season tournaments like that, you know, you're still trying to instill, especially with a young club, you know, what you want to do, what Moses Lake Wrestling is all about. How does that help or hinder you when you get those matches on the weekends?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's always a target. You know, someone's always chasing after us. That's what we've made ourselves dating back, you know, since the 50s. And I was, you know, a part of a team, 4 teams that we took second, first, so I know how that feels for someone always to be targeting you. And these guys need to understand that it's their responsibility to bring it every day in practice and every day on the mat. And if not, yes, there's going to be some type of criticism that's taking place. But you know, with that being said, you know, the goal is not, you know, what happens in December happens in December, what happens in January happens in January. What really matters is what happens in February, and that's what we're training for, is February, not January, just December or January.
How are you health-wise as you get through the early part of the season?
I feel as though we're fine. There's a few minor injuries that we're dealing with, but that's athletics, that's wrestling, and so you have to find a way to be able to block that out and move forward.
Sunnyside had a little leg up on you here a week ago. They've got a ton of wrestlers, kind of experience coming back. It seems like you and Sunnyside, the top 2 tiers of the Big Nine again this year. Is that a surprise when you look at Sunnyside and what they've been able to do?
No. I mean, I knew going into this, dating back from March when I saw the schedule, that was going to be a challenging match for us. Considering, you know, the youth that we had. However, I felt that we were in that match. You know, we lost 3 matches by 2 matches by a point and 1 in overtime. We win those matches. We don't give up a tech fall, and we win that match in criteria. But that's that we didn't win them. So, you know, there's some bright spots to look at. However, the reality is we lost, and I don't prepare, you know, to lose a duel. Were they better than us? Yes. However, I felt we had the opportunity to win that match and seal it, but we didn't do what we needed to do at certain weight classes.
Such an individual sport, yet you have the team component there. How do you take that back into the wrestling room the next practice?
You definitely, you know, praise those guys that wrestled well and take out the good from it and work on what it is that we struggled with. And that's, you know, I really like the direction that we're moving. It's like I said, in the years past, I've been able to look at a tournament and say, okay, we're going to place. Like, we're going to be 1, 2, 3. We're going to walk into Tri-State being able to, place. And this year it's a little different. It's like, what are we learning? How are we going week by week by week, day by day by day? And that's what this is. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a great thing that we're looking at it from a different lens than what we've had the last, few seasons. Sure. But with that being said, the ultimate goal is what happens in February, not December. And I have to remind myself of that because I've been, in a position where I've, coached a few competitive teams where we've been 1, 2, and we've been in the thick of things. Last year we were at 3rd at Tri-State, and being able to walk into a gym and say, okay, we can gain ownership of this. However, this year's just a little different. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen towards the end of the season. Yeah. We're working hard to be able to ensure that can happen, and we find ourselves a place on that podium.
A lot of wrestling between now and then. Keep everybody healthy tonight, and thanks for taking the time to join us.
Thank you.
You bet. Jaime Garza joining us here on the pregame show. We'll come back and get you Jason Erdman and see what he has to say about the early season for Eastmont coming up next on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Welcome back once again here to Eastmont High School as we prepare for this matchup between the Eastmont Wildcats and the Moses Lake Chiefs, and talking with Jason Erdman, the head coach for Eastmont. Jason, you guys are coming off the Inland Empire where there were quite a few of these matches that we're going to see tonight. You got a preview of last weekend. What can we expect here tonight?
Yeah, it should be a good night tonight. We had a couple really close matches at the Inland Empire last week, and one I'm really looking forward to tonight, is our freshman Nathan Chang. There was a really good match with him and Janenjum at 120. It was a good match, and I'm sure that he's going to be gunning for Nathan tonight because it was a good match, and they're both rated in state right now, and so I'm sure he'll be gunning. We have a good lineup. At 145 with Vivanco, and then at 160 and at 152 there'll be a good match as well. So. And then also at 195. So there's going to be some really good matches tonight. Unfortunately, we don't have a 106-pounder or a 113-pounder. Our girls were going to wrestle at 106, but Cheyenne came down with a cold sore, so unfortunately we won't have that match tonight. So that always is a good match. And then we don't have a 13-pounder right now. He didn't make weight, so unfortunately we won't have that tonight. And then our heavyweights, he's out as well. So unfortunately, we're going to be giving up 3 weight classes tonight. So I'm a little bummed at that. I think we would, that's going to set us back, 24 points off the get-go. So it's always hard to come back from that. But, I'm excited. I think if our kids battle tonight, we can hang in there even though we're giving up 24. I hope, if we can stay off our backs, maybe we can make up that deficit. It's going to be tough, but hopefully if we can get some pins, we might be able to make that up. I'm optimistic, of course, but it should be good night.
Well, coming out of Inland Empire, I had you guys, finish 3rd in the tournament. Tenasket, I think it was the top team out of that tournament. Tenasket, as a wrestling power in the north part of the state. But, you look at the Big Nine and how it shakes out. Moses Lake stumbled to Sunnyside here a week ago. Sunnyside's very tough. Is that where you're looking as far as the teams to beat in the Big Nine?
Yeah, I really think we should. It's going to be we got to fill those weight classes. If we can find some kids to fill those holes, I think we really can this year. But again, we got to fill those weight classes. Otherwise, our dual meet season is going to be really tough. I think tournament wise, we're going to be really tough in the tournament because we got some really we got 5 or 6 kids that I really think that have a good shot at placing at state this year. But dual meet wise, it's going to be tough for us if we don't fill those holes. But tournament wise, I think we're looking pretty tough. But the dual meet wise, it's going to be tough if we don't fill those holes this year.
Who are you really excited about? You're only a few weeks into the season, but who is really shining for you so far?
This last weekend, obviously Nathan Chang, coming off beating 2 state placers as a freshman is pretty exciting. He's rated as the number 2 wrestler in the state at 120 right now, so that's pretty cool. Adrian Vivanco, going to state as a sophomore is pretty cool. He's rated in state right now, and then Cesar Cintio, man, he had a big weekend this last weekend. He was beating the Tonasket state champion, and he did one of those mistakes where he looked at the clock for a second. He was beating him, and he lost in the last 20 seconds. So he learned, though. It's one of those things that's early in the season. You learn by your mistakes, and then unfortunately Landon McClune wasn't able to go because he was taking the ACT, but he's coming off a big win. He won the Davis tournament, and he beat Connor Koch from West Valley, who's also Connor's rated number 8 in the state right now. And so Landon beat him pretty heavily. Beat him 10-2 in the finals at the Davis tournament. So Landon started the season real tough. And then, unfortunately, Max Brazier, he was a freshman last year and wasn't able to wrestle the whole season except for right at the very end. And so he's really coming on real strong for not being able to wrestle last year. So we look for big things from him. And so we've got a lot of kids that are really starting to come on right now, and I think we're going to have a great season.
Well, we're looking forward to a great match here tonight. Stay healthy and have some fun tonight.
All right, thanks a lot.
You bet. Jason Urban joining us here on the pregame show. We'll come back and get to the lineups and get to wrestling. Coming up next from Eastmont High School, it's the Chiefs and the Wildcats on the NCWLIFE channel.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Paprika mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Welcome back once again to Eastmont High School as we're ready for wrestling here tonight on the NCWLIFE channel. They're announcing the lineups here. Let's get you those. First of all, on the girls' mat, which will be on the red and white mat as you see it here at Eastmont High School. The ladies will start at 155 pounds. It'll be Serena Jewell for Moses Lake against Destiny Ross Ledbetter for Eastmont. And, of course, as soon as I start that, we're going to go to the anthem. So we'll do that and come back next on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop. When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
All right, the rest of the girls lineup here following the 155-pound match will be a 235-pound match between Serenity Franz of Moses Lake and Reina Valdivinos of Eastmont. Meanwhile, the boys will start at 113 pounds, and it will be a forfeit. Riley Burgess of Moses Lake will get a forfeit here to the Eastmont Wildcats. So the boys' matches will start on the blue mat at 120 pounds. The rest of the girls' matches, following Serenity Franz and Reina Valdivinos at 235, it'll jump back to 110 with Rosary Rodriguez of Moses Lake and Akima Hardwood of Eastmont. That'll be followed by the 115-pound match between Mana Wu of Moses Lake and Daniela Hernandez of Eastmont. Then at 130 pounds, it's Giselle Aparicio Cervantes of Moses Lake against Giselle Keene of Eastmont. At 135 pounds, the Chiefs will send out Kimberly Avila to face against Carissa Miller of Eastmont. Zoyana Dahlgren will wrestle 140 pounds for Moses Lake, and she'll battle against Joanna Bowman of Eastmont. And then we'll go to a couple of exhibition matches. At 155-pound, Serena Jewell will wrestle for the second time of the night against Shelby Tuggle of Eastmont. And then Serenity France will wrestle for the second time of the night at 235 against Anayeli Rodriguez for Eastmont. That's the girls' match. Those will all be on the red mat with the white circle. Meanwhile, the rest of the matchups here for the boys at 120 pounds, Nathan Chang and Jonathan Tanguma. At 126, it's German Jimenez against Hunter White. 132, Jonathan Ruiz and Maximus Zamora. As we look at the matches here, and we'll try to keep track of it, and I've got my lovely partner Marion Granstrom helping me keep track of what's happening here on both matches. So the first match of the night at 113 pounds will be a forfeit. Riley Burgess at 113 pounds will be a winner. So that will put Moses Lake up by a score of 6-0. Then we go to 120 pounds on the boys' mat. That is the blue mat with Nathan Chang, the freshman for the Eastmont Wildcats, taking on Jonathan Tanguma of Moses Lake. And that was quite a match here over the last weekend at the Inland Empire tournament, where it was Chang, the freshman, that got the better of Tanguma. So that is the match we'll see first on the blue mat here for the boys. The first match on the girls' mats will be Serena Jewell, the freshman out of Moses Lake, and Destiny Ross Ledbetter, the sophomore for the Eastmont Lady Cats. And they'll get those matches started at just about the right time. So we'll start with the boys' match here between Chang and Tanguma. This one should be a Donnybrook, as it was Tanguma that got the better, Chang got the better of Tanguma at the match last weekend in the Inland Empire, with Chang getting a 2-point victory. I think 7-5 was the final. No points on either match so far. The girls wrestling, it'll be a 2-point takedown over on the red mat for Destiny Ross Ledbetter for Eastmont. Well, I thought she got 2, maybe not so far. Meanwhile, Eastmont's Nathan Chang, the freshman, going up against Jonathan Tanguma of Moses Lake, as they're tied up, still working on their feet here on the blue mat here at Eastmont High School. So simultaneous varsity matches going on, and our broadcast tonight brought to you by the Alignment Pros and Express Lube. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube, including front and four-wheel alignment, online at alignpros.com or at 182 Eastmont Avenue. Still no points on either mat so far. Attempt at a shot by Chang, but the counter, Tanguma, back to their feet they go. 47 seconds left in the first round here at 120 pounds between Nathan Chang and Jonathan Tanguma on the blue mat. Turning over to the red mat in the girls' match, there is a 2-point takedown going to be given to Destiny Ross Ledbetter of Eastmont. So Eastmont will have the lead in that one, 2-0, as we close in on 25 seconds remaining on the boys' mat here on the blue one in front of me here, as we're across from the home crowd. There's quite a few Moses Lake fans that made the trip over here to Eastmont tonight, to East Wenatchee. We appreciate you joining us here on the NCWLIFE channel. 12 seconds left in this first round. Still no points for either side. The official takes his whistle out of his mouth. Todd Carter says, hey, we need to get some wrestling here, boys. A shot in deep for Chang, but no points given for either wrestler. So it'll be a scoreless tie after one period here on the boys' mat. Meanwhile, on the girls' mat, there's 10 seconds left in that match, and that will be the end of this one, and it's a 2-0 lead for Ledbetter over the top of Jewell for Moses Lake. The choice will be Chang here, and Chang will defer. So Chang will choose down. They had to determine, because the first match, so they go odd or even as far as the wrestler choices. So this would be an even match, being the second. We had a forfeit in the first match, so that's why we had to get things straight here. So Chang will be down, and Tanguma will work from the top here as they start wrestling again here on the boys' mats with a scoreless contest so far. Meanwhile, the wrestler on top on the girls' mats will be Serena Jewell, as she tries to get some points in that 155-pound match. 120 pounds on the boys' mat. We'll focus on this boys' match here for the next several moments, helping out Becca Freemuth back in the studios. She's doing our camera switching. Up in the stands, we've got Jessica Medina, who's watching what's happening on the girls' mat. We've got Chelsea Craig with the camera focused in on this boys' match, and we may get a stalemate here soon because neither wrestler able to gain much of an advantage. As it is Tanguma's got a leg in, and now he's got the cradle, and now he's going to tip Chang, and we're going to get maybe near fall points at least as he tries him again. Chang tried to kick out of it. We'll see if our official Todd Carter is going to whistle any points here. They're trying to tip Chang again. Chang is nearly pinned here in that cradle. Trying to work his way out. He cannot, and it will be a pin. 1:14 into the second round. So winner by pin makes it a 12-0 match on the boys' mat. Meanwhile, over on the girls' mat, let's switch to the red mat. Here's Destiny Ross Ledbetter, was just pinned by Serena Jewell. And Jewell will come from behind and win that one by pin. So win by pin, if you could mark that down, Marion, I'd appreciate that. Meanwhile, we'll head to 126 pounds here on the boys' mat. German Jimenez for the Eastmont Wildcats against Hunter White for Moses Lake. 126 pounds, second match of the night. Well, third if you count the forfeit at 113 pounds. So we're at 126 here on the boys' mat. Meanwhile, over on the girls' mat, it's a 235-pound match between Serenity Franz of Moses Lake and Reina Valdivinos of Eastmont. A shot here, meanwhile, on the boys' mat by Hunter White of Moses Lake. And both wrestlers go out of bounds. We'll stick to the blue mat here and show you what's going on as we're just underway, 28 seconds into this one, as it is a 12-0 lead here for Moses Lake in the team scoring so far in this match as far as the duel is concerned. Meanwhile, a counter here by Jimenez, the junior for Eastmont. And now an elevator by the Moses Lake wrestler White, and they're going to give him a 2-point takedown with 1:07 to go here in the first round. Now the crossface. He's got the leg in deep. Now he's going to go for the power half, trying to force that head down. Good hand fighting underneath by Jimenez as he arches his back. And now he got that half in, turns the leg around. Going to get some exposure points here. Will White for Moses Lake, if not more. It's a 30-second remaining in this first round. Going for a pin here at 126 pounds is Hunter White of the Moses Lake Chiefs. Adjusting himself with 20 seconds to go in the round. First round action. Pin going to be whistled with just 14 seconds left in the round. So that is 1:46 into the first round. Another pin for Moses Lake, and that makes it an 18-0 contest. Meanwhile, let's switch over to the girls' mats. And that match continues at 2:35 between Serenity Franz of Moses Lake and Reina Valdivinos of Eastmont. And it is a tie match at 2 apiece, and they're going to give a 1-point escape.
Hey, Todd, hold on.
And that will be given, I believe, to the Moses Lake wrestler. No, it's given to the Eastmont wrestlers. So Valdivinos leads it 3-2 over on the girls' mat at 235 pounds as they'll head into the second period. Meanwhile, back to the boys' mat here, the blue mat. At 132 pounds, it'll be Jonathan Ruiz for Eastmont against Mazumas Zamora of Moses Lake. So Zamora and Ruiz at 132 pounds. Eastmont yet to get a win here on the night. Let's go back to the girls' match. On the red mat, it's a 3-2 lead for Valdivinos against Franz. It is Franz working on top. Valdivinos, though, getting to her feet for a moment, trying to hand fight and get herself out of there. The junior Valdivinos wrestling against the junior Franz, and they nearly go out of bounds, but there is a 2-point reversal for Valdivinos, so she leads it 5-2 with 1:30 to go in the second round. Wrestlers over there going near the out-of-bounds circle. Meanwhile, let's go back to the blue mat and the boys match between Ruiz of Eastmont and Zamora for Moses Lake. Ruiz able to go around behind after the shot by Zamora, but then lost the handle, and a 2-point takedown going to be given to Zamora there against Ruiz. Let's go back to the girls match. It's a pinning move here for Eastmont with just a minute left in the second round, as it is Valdivinos trying to get the pin at 235 pounds, and that will be whistled. Congratulations to Reina Valdivinos winning by pin. So a couple of pins for Eastmont. Pin per side, for one for Eastmont, one for Moses Lake. Meanwhile, pinning move on the boys mat. Let's go back to the blue mat here, and a pin going to be whistled in the first period. So 3 wins all by pin in direct head-to-head. Jonathan Ruiz falls to Maximus Zamora, and that'll be a pin at 120 into the first round. Makes it a 24-0 match here through 4 matches on the boys' mats. Meanwhile, back to the girls' mats. The red mat here at Eastmont High School at 110 pounds. It's Rosary Rodriguez, the senior for Moses Lake, taking on Akima Harwood, the freshman for Eastmont. And quickly, it'll be a 2-point takedown for Rodriguez. So Rodriguez with the lead here over on the girls' mats. We have a timeout here on the boys' mats while they get everybody settled in as far as the scoring is concerned and the scoreboard is concerned, as they'll go to the 138-pound match next. We'll stay over on the girls' match because that's the only one going on right now. And again, it is Rodriguez of Moses Lake on top of Harwood, 2-0, the senior for the Chiefs against the freshman for Eastmont. Wrestlers near the out-of-bounds circle, and they are able to work themselves back towards the middle and trying to work that power half on the girls' mats was Rodriguez, as she leads it 2-0 with 1:04 to go in the first period. Meanwhile, let's go back to the boys' mats, and out there now on the blue mat in front of us at 138 pounds, it's Thomas Krozik for Eastmont against Cameron Reagan for Moses Lake, and Reagan will get the takedown and get some exposure points here, going right to the back, Krozik, and a situation here close to a pin for Reagan. Just 40 seconds into the first round, and Moses Lake looking for their 4th consecutive pin here after winning the first match by forfeit. And a 3-point near fall going to be given to Reagan here, so he leads it 5-0. We get headgear coming loose, and so Todd Carter blows his whistle. Got a timeout on the blue mat, so let's head back to the red mat and see what's happening there, as the Moses Lake wrestler is working on a pin move here. Rodriguez over Harwood. See if they get exposure points given. The official will say yes, a 3-point near fall. So it's a 5-0 lead here for Rodriguez over Harwood on the girls' match, and that will be the end of the first round there. So as that match comes to an end on the first round at 110 pounds, our third match of the night on the ladies' mats. Meanwhile, we have some headgear issues happening here on the boys' mat, the blue mats. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Automoca. What's your Automoca emergency? Visit one of their 6 locations in the valley, including the only Automoca with inside seating on 5th Street across from Wenatchee Valley College. Also by Color Effects, offering screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, and logo design for your team, school, business, or church at a fair price. Locally owned for over 20 years. Call Color Effects at 509-741-7609. Well, the girls' match is back underway, so let's get back over there to the red mats as they are in the second round, I believe, with a 4-0 lead. Thought it was 5-0. They gave a 2-point near fall, not a 3-point near fall for Rosary Rodriguez. So she leads it 4-0 as they are 30 seconds into the second round with Akima Harwood working on the bottom, the freshman for Eastmont against the senior Rodriguez with the right time on top. There have been 2 matches on the girls' side so far, both determined by pin, one for Moses Lake, one for Eastmont. And here's another pin move and tipping her over. Harwood fighting for her life, and that is going to be the end of the match there. Another pin by Moses Lake. Rosary Rodriguez, the senior at 110 pounds, will win that one by pin. Meanwhile, back to the blue mat and our boys' match between Thomas Krozik of Eastmont and Cameron Reagan for Moses Lake. Reagan is leading this match by a score of 5-0 as they are still in the first round. 2-point takedown on the 3-point near fall for Reagan. And now he's got the arm barred up, and he tips him again. Krozik trying to do what he can to last for 45 seconds. That's a long time to last on the bottom, and he will not, as it is another pin by Moses Lake. 1:20 into the first round. Win by pin. And this one is all in favor of Moses Lake so far in the team scores. They lead it 30-0. They'll go to the 145-pound match next. Adrian Vivanco for Eastmont against Sergio Guzman for Moses Lake. Meanwhile, over on the girls' side, we're to the 115-pound match. It's Mana Wu, the freshman for Moses Lake, against Daniela Hernandez, the sophomore for Eastmont. No score yet. They're underway. A minute 22 remaining in the first round of that one. And a takedown, I believe, going to be given here to the Moses Lake wrestler, although the Eastmont wrestler trying to keep that head and arm. See if she can still hang on to it and get that Moses Lake wrestler tipped. They haven't awarded any points yet. She's still got that head and arm and then really trying to rake on it over there. And can she hold on? She's got to try to get her waist, and then she finally does. She keeps that head and arm. No points given yet, though, as it is Hernandez for Eastmont. He's giving near fall points, so there should be a 2-point takedown. Now he finally says yes, 2-point takedown for Hernandez. And working on a pin here at 115 pounds on the girls' match. Quite a struggle over there, but Daniela Hernandez able to keep that head and arm and hold on for dear life. There's 25 seconds left in the round. Meanwhile, to the boys' match, and that was a quick one here as Eastmont's victory, the first of the night, comes. Adrian Vivanco able to get a pin with just 55 seconds into the first round. So the Vivanco gives Eastmont their first points of the night on a pin of Sergio Guzman at 145 pounds. Meanwhile, over on the girls' mat, back to the red mat, and a pin going to be whistled here for Daniela Hernandez. The sophomore will get the win by pin with just 1 second left in the first round. Congratulations to Daniela Hernandez with the victory there. They'll move on the girls' match to 130 pounds. It'll be Giselle Aparicio for Cervantes for Moses Lake against Giselle Keene for Eastmont. Freshman and junior wrestling on the girls' mat. Meanwhile, boys' mat, the blue mat, underway with our 152-pound match between Cesar Sidio and Carson Voss. This one, according to Jason Erdman, was a good one at the Inland Empire, and Sidio had a great tournament. Ended up losing in the quarterfinals by 1 point. Came back and was able to place last weekend at the Inland Empire, and he gets the 2-point takedown here. So Sidio with the early lead as we're just 30 seconds into the first round. Sidio with the 2-0 advantage over Carson Voss. This is on the boys' mat, the blue mat here, as we watch it, and pretty good move there by Sidio. They're awfully close to going out of bounds. Sidio's going to try to bring Voss back on the mat, and instead they go out of bounds. Our broadcast will switch over to the girls' mat here as we have a pin move going on for Giselle Keene for Eastmont. 2-point takedown and the pin. So Eastmont back-to-back pins on the mat on the girls' side. So Giselle Keene with a win in the first round by pin over Giselle Aparicio Cervantes at 130 pounds. Meanwhile, back to the boys' mat. And our blue mat here tonight, Cesar Sidio working against Carson Voss, as it is a 2-0 match still with Sidio on top, both literally and in the match. Trying to work that arm barred back around. Got it. Now he'll work to bar it up, and then he'll reach in the other side and try to walk it around to try to get a pin move here. He's now going to reach up, get that half Nelson, bring the wrestler back towards the mat with 35 seconds to go. Long time for Carson Voss to hang on here. The official moves in a better position so he can see, looking under, looking to see if both shoulders are pinned to the mat. That's why they call it a pin. Sidio looking for a victory here in the first round, and he gets it by pin. So it'll be a 1:52 into the first round, win by pin for Cesar Sidio. That makes it a 30-12 dual match meet. And back to the girls' mat we go. We've got a 135-pound match right now between Kimberly Avila, the freshman from Moses Lake, and Carissa Miller, the senior for the Eastmont Wildcats. That match right now is a 3-2 advantage for the Eastmont wrestler Carissa Miller. Miller, the senior. Miller on the bottom. They're in the first round of that match with 40 seconds to go. Meanwhile, let's get back to the boys match here at 160 pounds. We've got Landon McClune for Eastmont and Cruz Vasquez for Moses Lake. 160-pound match underway on the boys' side here on the NCWLIFE channel. So as they work for a takedown here, and it looks like Vasquez might be working for one, we have a pinning move happening, and a pin happens on the girls' mat. Back over to the red mat we go, and just getting pinned. Carissa Miller had the lead early, but then found herself staring at the lights. Carissa Miller will fall by pin as Camberly Avila gets the victory here at 135 pounds. That's the girls' match. So back to the boys' mat we go. The blue one right in front of us, Landon McClune and Cruz Vasquez. Still yet to have any points scored in this match at 160 pounds. Eastmont in the red singlets, trimmed in gray. Moses Lake in the maroon singlets, trimmed in gold and white. 1:12 left in this first round here between McClune and Vasquez. Jason Erdman, the head coach for Eastmont, saying this would be a match to watch tonight as well. Both the wrestlers went out of bounds, so they're back to the center circle with 1:05 to go and still trying to feel each other out. Meanwhile, let's go back over to the girls' mat, the red mat here. In the match between Zoyana Dahlgren at 140 pounds against Joanna Bowman for Eastmont. Bowman looked like she had the advantage, but no, it's a two-point takedown for Dahlgren, for Bowman, and now a two-point reversal for Dahlgren. So they've got the scoreboard at 2-2 over there. I don't know if that's right or not, but meanwhile, a tipping move, it might be academic here. Dahlgren gets the pin. So Dahlgren with a pin in the first round, and so Moses Lake will win by pin here. Zoyana Dahlgren will get the victory as the official raises her hand in the win here. Meanwhile, back to the boys' mat with 12 seconds left in the first round. A two-point takedown has just been given here to Cruz Vasquez of the Moses Lake Chiefs. Landon McClune of Eastmont on the bottom. And that'll be the end of our first round. Our broadcast tonight on the NCWLIFE channel brought to you by Global Car Care, a quality auto repair facility with highly trained technicians celebrating 25 years in the car care business. They speak your car's language at 1840 North Wenatchee Avenue. Also by One Way Construction, a premier custom home builder and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consultation services online at onewayconstructionnw.com. Landon McClune of Eastmont up position here as they start the second round. Cruz Vasquez trying to get free. Vasquez got the leg outs, but then McClune holding on, working on the elevator here as Vasquez gets the whizzer in. Trying to kick that leg free, and they go out of bounds, and let's see if our official Todd Carter says that the Moses Lake wrestler was able to reach any escape. No, he does not. And so they'll head back to the center circle in the referee's position. Vasquez down, McClune adjusting the headgear, will approach. Trailing 2-0 in the second round of this 160-pound match, and caution going to be whistled here against the Moses Lake wrestler. Vasquez started before the whistle. Got to make sure and hear that whistle before you start any movement down on the bottom. Again, Vasquez tries to stand up. McClune switches hands, goes across to the right side. Now he'll come back left with a hand play underneath. McClune takes a leg, holding on to that hand for dear life. Now he'll hold on to that back foot. And here's where you got to watch as an official, the knee, to make sure there's not a dangerous move, and that's exactly what he'll call here. So that's the boys' match. Let's head back over to the girls' match. We've got a 2-0 lead. Looks like Moses Lake is on top as Serena Jewell at 155 pounds is leading this one. This is an exhibition match with Shelby Tuggle of Eastmont. So Serena wrestling for the second time here tonight with a 2-0 lead over Eastmont's wrestler, and that'll be the end of the first round there. Back to the boys' match on the blue mat. as we had a near reversal here for Vasquez. With 1:05 to go, they will say at least an escape for Vasquez. So he leads it now 3-0 over Landon McClune. Both wrestlers work to their feet. And now the elevator by Vasquez, and a 2-point takedown going to be given to Vasquez. So now he's on top 5-0 with 47 seconds left in this second round of this match between McClune and Vasquez. Vasquez trying to work a arm bar up top. Can't get that arm in, and so he'll reach up and through with the left hand and grab hold of that wrist and try to bring it back so he can get that arm barred up. He did get it in partially with his left arm. But again, McClune doing a good job just trying to fight underneath. 17 seconds left in the round here, round 2 of this match between Landon McClune of Eastmont and Cruz Vasquez of Moses Lake. Our official again is Todd Carter here on the boys' mat. Moses Lake leading the match on the boys' side, 13-12, and that'll be the end of round number 2. Let's head back over to the girls' match. 2-0 lead for Serena Jewell, and looking for a pin move here against Shelby Tuggle as they've got a minute left in the first round of that one, and awfully close to a pin. The official spying in, looking for any gap in the mat between a shoulder blade and the mat itself. And she doesn't quite have her head wrapped up very well in order to pick up on the head to try to get the rest of that pin move here. Now she tries to reef back up on it. If she reversed her hand through the left arm there and went back around the head, she'd have a better chance of getting that pin move. But Serena Jewell, the freshman, working on a pin here of the sophomore Shelby Tuggle in this exhibition match at 155 pounds on the girls' mat. And it will be a pin for Serena Jewell. So she will win here tonight by pin in the first round. Back to the boys' mat we go. Again, 160 pounds continues as a stalemate going to be called here by the official. With 1:21 to go here in round number 3. Final round, final chance for Landon McClune to get something done as he trails at 5-0 against Cruz Vasquez. Vasquez on top, McClune on the bottom. McClune trying to figure out what he wants to do here. If he wants to sit out, stand up. Vasquez follows on the stand-up attempt. McClune again sprawling out down underneath, trying to not give up a leg. Really tight waist on top by Cruz Vasquez. Just squeezing all he can across that waist to try to get the advantage. A sit-out by McClune, but Vasquez covers. 51 seconds left in the round, third and final round. And an escape going to be given here to McClune. Nice job by Landon to get to his feet and get loose. Now he's got to get quick here. Nice single leg shot. The pickup and 2-point takedown. Give it to Vasquez with 31 seconds. 7-1. Vasquez in control of this one at 160 pounds. Landon McClune on the bottom. Again, back to his base with 20 seconds left in the round. Trailing it by 6 points. And just the fire burning right now in every single muscle you have after battling someone that is exactly the same weight as you and probably nearly as strong as you. And that's going to be the end of the match. And Landon McClune will fall here to Vasquez by a score of 7-1. So our first decision here tonight comes at 160 pounds as Moses Lake will get the win. Cruz Vasquez by a score of 7-1 over Landon McClune. Next up will be a 170-pound match between Nolan Vaughn of Eastmont and Levi Carlos of Moses Lake. To the girls' mat we'll go over there on the red mat. We have Serenity Franz wrestling for the second time in this exhibition match against Anayeli Rodriguez for Eastmont. Rodriguez the senior, Franz the junior, and it is a 2-0 lead for Franz of Moses Lake, and that'll be the end of the first round between those two wrestlers. So Franz will have the 2-0 advantage over Anayeli Rodriguez. Back to the boys' mat we'll go, and we're at 170 pounds. Nolan Vaughn for Eastmont will wrestle for Isaac Hernandez here tonight. Levi Carlos for Moses Lake. Chiefs Wildcats, Moses Lake leading the team score here 33-12. With the single leg is Nolan Vaughn. The counter here by Levi Carlos. Carlos trying to get that crossface, but a good job of sucking it in. And Vaughn still holding. Now he needs to crowd the waist to hold on to that leg with one hand. Try to pull your right arm out, but reaching around and defending is Carlos nicely for Moses Lake. And his hands locked, and now he'll spin around and get the 2-point takedown. So Carlos with the early lead here halfway through the first round over Nolan Vaughn. Now he's got that half Nelson thrown in there. Going to reverse it. He's got the leg with his leg, and then spinning is Vaughn. Vaughn nearly got himself out of it. He's going to step up, look for the half. It's a 3-point near fall and a 1-point escape. Both wrestlers up. So it should be 5-1 now, as he gave a 1-point escape to the Eastmont wrestler Nolan Vaughn. And Vaughn finds himself down again and looking to fight against the pin on a 2-point takedown. So it should be 7-1 on the scoreboard. 15 seconds remaining in the round. Still looking for a pin here, Levi Carlos, and he will get it at 1:50 of the first round. So another pin by the Moses Lake Chiefs. They'll lead it now 39-12 over Eastmont. And I think they've got a timeout over on the girls' mat. Let's head that way with the timeout on the girls' mat. To broadcast tonight brought to you by the Windmill Restaurant, a time-tested restaurant providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homey, old-fashioned dining room. Open 7 days a week, 4:30 to 9. Call 509-665-9529. That is the Windmill. So the girls have had their timeouts, and it is a 5-3 contest. Eastmont wrestler on top, Anieli Rodriguez, leading Serenity Franz over on the girls' mat as they get ready for the rest of their second round. Meanwhile, let's go back to the boys' mat. At 182 pounds, we've got Skylar Daw for Eastmont and Brian Guzman for Moses Lake, and Guzman will get the 2-point takedown. Now the sit-out attempt by Daw, but a nice counter by Guzman, and that's something you get used to seeing with Moses Lake wrestlers, is quite the countering machine that they develop in every single wrestler. 182 pounds on the blue mat right now here on the NCWLIFE channel. Meanwhile, over on the girls' mat, the final exhibition match on the girls' side goes down by pin, so Anieli Rodriguez will win by pin at 2:35 in that exhibition match on the girls' side. So that'll wrap it up over on our secondary mat. So now we can concentrate all on the blue mat here for the rest of the evening, as we are down to, let's see, 4 more matches after this one. So Jessica Medina up there. You can focus your camera over here on the blue and make it a little easier on Becca Freemuth back in the studio so that she can just switch between 2 cameras looking at the same match at once. 2-0 the score, as it is Guzman leading here over Eastmont Skylar Daw at 182 pounds. 1 minute to go in the first round of this match between Daw and Guzman. Guzman has the arm barred up. Daw fighting feverishly underneath not to allow it to happen. He's able to wrestle that arm free. Now Daw trying to sit out, wasn't really to his base yet, and so it allowed Guzman to maybe try to get a tip there. But now both wrestlers kind of in a stale situation with 22 seconds left here in the round. 182-pound match here on the NCWLIFE channel. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. It has been pretty much a dominant night for the Moses Lake Chiefs. Four seconds left, so the final moments of this first round ticking away here. And it will be Brian Guzman leading Skylar Daw by a score of 2-0 at the end of the first round. Our broadcast tonight also brought to you by Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning. They service all brands of commercial and residential HVAC systems. Call 509-884-6444 for more information. By the way, our pregame interview with the coaches tonight brought to you by TC Slingers. If it's rock, bark, sand, or soil, there's no need for wheelbarrows, shovels, or rakes. They'll place the material for you at TC Slingers. Thanks to TC for sponsoring our pregame coaches interviews here on the NCWLIFE channel. So both wrestlers up to start the second frame, and they will tumble out of bounds. And so head back to the center circle with a 2-0 advantage for the Moses Lake wrestler Brian Guzman. Skylar Daw for Eastmont in the red singlet. The maroon singlets worn by Brian Guzman of Moses Lake. Pretty good crowd on hand here tonight for this one. Here's the shot by Daw. Good counter by Guzman, and he'll get the 2-point takedown. Daw right back to his feet, though, trying to work for an escape. Turns, missed the head, and falls to the mat. 30 seconds into the second round here between Guzman and Daw. Daw sits out again, and both wrestlers out of bounds. So the whistle comes from Todd Carter. He'll send him back to the center circle here for the continuation with 1:22 remaining in this second round. 4-0 the score here with Guzman on top. Nice spin move by Daw. Daw got free, 1-point escape. Daw now looking for the takedown. The shuck, almost was there, but then a nice cover by Guzman. He'll get the 2-point takedown, and it's a 6-1 advantage for Guzman. Turning out is Daw. He'll spin away and come free. Trying to see if Daw might have been hurt there. Reaching up and wiping away his left eyebrow as the two wrestlers again work from their feet here with 45 seconds left in round number 2. Daw looks like he may have exhausted himself trying to get free against Guzman. Guzman equally looking fatigued here out on the mat with 34 seconds to go in round number 2 of this 182-pound match. The tug by Guzman. Daw with the counter here. Maybe trying to just get a breath. Both wrestlers kind of reaching up and wiping things away from their eyebrows. And there's a head slap that went right to the face by Daw. I'm surprised the official didn't whistle a caution here against Daw. And that'll be the end of round number 2. 182-pound match is led here by Brian Guzman by a score of 6-2 over Skylar Daw of Eastmont. Guzman will choose down here to begin this third round. No, it'll be Eastmont wrestler down. So Daw will be down. Guzman on top. Both wrestlers look exhausted as we get ready for this third round. Nope. Caution warning is going to be given here. I don't know if Daw maybe hurt his neck on one of those moves from the bottom. He sits out here and sits almost right into a cradle. Now back up to his base. Trying to turn again with a Granby roll, but it's not happening. Now up to his base again is Daw. Guzman doing all he can just to hang on here. I don't know who the more tired wrestler is right now in this 182-pound match between a couple of Goliaths here for the Chiefs and the Wildcats. Daw on the bottom, trying to summon the strength, and now they will give a stall warning to the Eastmont wrestler Daw on the bottom. 1:20 to go here in the third. Guzman leading at 6-2. Skylar Daw's got to do something to muster the strength to try to get out from underneath. Tried to sit out again. Now getting to his base, standing up. Hand fighting, trying to get free. Hopped across the mat, then taken down by Guzman. 58 seconds left. That may have been all that Skylar Daw had in the tank in that particular move. Daw trying to get to his base. The official, Todd Carter, says, Skylar, you got to start moving on the bottom. He's giving him a count right now And going to give maybe some stall points to the Moses Lake wrestler. Well, the count is not on again. And it will be 1 point given to Guzman. It'll be a 7-2 lead now with 23 seconds left here in the final round. Our second match that will go to a decision here. The rest have been by pin one way or another. And they'll go out of bounds with 8.3 seconds left in this third and final round. Skyler looks over to his coaching staff on the sideline, trying for any magical advice here with 8.3 seconds left. Wrestlers ready in the official's position, and 6 seconds left. Daw, just nothing left in the tank here. Tight waist by Guzman, and that'll be the match. 7-2 will be the final, as Guzman will get the victory. Moses Lake will add to their lead. And we will head to the 195-pound match. Max Prazer for Eastmont against Everett Ashley for the Chiefs. Our broadcast tonight on the NCWLIFE channel brought to you by BioSports Physical Therapy, providing the best environment, most qualified, experienced therapists in North Central Washington. You have the right to select your healthcare team. Why wouldn't you choose the best? Choose BioSports. Max Prazer and Everett Ashley, 195 pounds, is the next matchup. Moses Lake, meanwhile, with this match pretty much in hand, leading at 42-12. So here we go, 195. Prazer for Eastmont. Ashley for Moses Lake. Eastmont taking third last weekend at the Inland Empire tournament. Tenasket with a bunch of bigger schools there, quite a few 4A schools. Tenasket, just a single A school, won the championship. Of course, Tenasket, time and again, state champions, individually and team champions, out of the Tenasket Tigers, North Central Washington. Both wrestlers here at 195 pounds, trying to see what the other wants to do. No real offensive moves so far, just a lot of reaching and grabbing by either side. Reach up and grab with the back of the neck there by Ashley. No shots taken by either wrestler. We're minute 10 plus into this first round. Tried the arm drag there. I don't even see anybody really trying to set up a throw. Just a bunch of head slaps going on. Again, kind of a little different setup here tonight with the JV matches that are happening after the varsity matches. That's what's happening over on the red mat. If you see some wrestling happening in the background. We had the girls on at the same time as the boys here tonight on the NCWLIFE channel. Girls matches all done for the night, and now concentrating on the big fellas here on the blue mats. A shot by Max Prazer, good move, but they go sailing out of bounds with 1.7 seconds left in this first round. Still scoreless between Max Prazer and Everett Ashley at 195 pounds. And that'll be the end of the first round, and it will end in a scoreless tie. Again, thanks to TC Slingers for sponsoring our pregame interviews with the coaches tonight here on the NCWLIFE channel. If it's rock, bark, sand, or soil, there's no need for wheelbarrows, shovels, or rakes. They'll place the material for you. That's TC Slingers. In fact, truth be told, our official tonight, Todd Carter, is Mr. TC. So thank you, Todd, for your sponsorship here on the NCWLIFE channel. Here we go. Max will be down to start round two at 195 pounds. Quickly gets to his feet. Hand fight going on. Then turns, gets the 1 point escape. So now Max Prazer leads it 1-0. And both wrestlers to their feet, where they spent the entire first round dancing around. Prazer finally made a move and a shot right at the 5-second mark at the end of the first round. Nearly got himself a takedown there. We'll see if they wait forever or if the official will let them wait forever before anybody takes a shot here. I saw Todd Carter doing some preventative officiating out there where he's saying, hey, boys, somebody's going to make a move here. Frazier leads it 1-0. The shot taken by Ashley. The counter by Frazier, trying to get around and cover the hips. He's got that whizzer in. Let's see if he tries to shuck him by. Go over and under here. Trying to snap him down is Max Frazier. If he can crowd him. Tried it. Now the head and arm attempt. And who's going to get the advantage? Nobody. It'll be Frazier with a 2-point takedown. Frazier going to try to keep that arm that's behind by Ashley with 40 seconds left in the round. No, he will try to now bar that arm up. Not able to get it. Jason Erdman, the head coach for Eastmont, quickly out on his knees, trying to say, hang on to that arm. But Frazier not able to do so. But he does lead this match 3-0 over Everett Ashley of the Moses Lake Chiefs. Match began with a forfeit at 113 pounds. And then at 120, Jonathan Tanguma able to get a pin in the second round. 126 was a win for Moses Lake, also by pin by Hunter White in the first round. And that'll be the end of the second round of this 195-pound match with Max Frazier on top 3-0. It'll be the Moses Lake choice, and Ashley will take down here to start this third and final round. Back to our recap of the match tonight. 132-pound match also goes to the Chiefs. Maximus Zamora winning by pin over Jonathan Ruiz. That made it a 24-0 match at that point in the dual match tonight. 138-pound also a win by pin by Moses Lake's Cameron Regan over Thomas Krawczyk for Eastmont. 145-pound match, also a pin. Sergio Guzman over Adrian Vivanco. 55 seconds into the first round, made it 30-6. Cesar Sidio then would win by pin over Carson Voss to make it 30-12. Cruz Vasquez would beat Landon McClune at 160. 7-1 was the final in that one. Levi Carlos wins by pin over Nolan Vaughn at 170 for the Chiefs. And a 7-2 decision by Brian Guzman over Skylar Dodd just moments ago to 182 to make it 42-12. Minute 17 to go here in the third period of this one. As Skylar Daw Max Frazier trying to get the win here at 195 pounds. Leads the match 3-0. That's a very narrow lead with Everett Ashley continuing to work from the bottom here for the Chiefs. Ashley looking over towards the side, maybe trying to get some words of encouragement from his head coach. Neither wrestler really with much happening as Frazier doesn't really break the legs down or the base down of Ashley. And now we're going to get a whistle and a stall warning whistle against Eastmont. So stall warning against the Eastmont wrestler Max Frazier with 40 seconds to go here in the match. Can't afford to give up a point on a stall. Next stall would be a point to Moses Lake's Everett Ashley. Frazier broke the hips down this time with 32 seconds left in the match. Ashley not much movement from the bottom. Now got to his base. Frazier's got to be careful here with 20 seconds left and a 1-point escape. 17 seconds. Takedown will tie it for Ashley. Can't afford to stall Ken Frazier. 6 seconds, 5 seconds left. With 4, with 3, and Max Frazier is going to hold on for the victory by a score of 3-1 over Everett Ashley at 195 pounds. Only the second win of the night for Eastmont, and it comes in a 3-1 decision for Max Frazier. The sophomore gets the win over Everett Ashley of Moses Lake. We'll head to 220 pounds now, and it'll be Wyatt Erdman for Eastmont against Thomas Molitar for Moses Lake. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by the Alignment Pros and Express Lube. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube, including front and four-wheel alignment online at alignpros.com or at 182 Eastmont Avenue. 220 pounds, Wyatt Erdman of Eastmont, Thomas Molitor of Moses Lake. The years where you watch for the throws with the big fellows at 220 pounds. Molitor, the aggressor so far in the early moments of this one, and he'll get the 2-point takedown. The next match at 285, and then our final match of the night at 106 will be a forfeit that will go the way of the Moses Lake Chiefs. Luke Harrison and Sebastian Rodriguez waiting on deck here at 285, but right now the 220-pound match. Molitor looking for the far side cradle. Minute 3 to go here in the first round. Molitor trying to get the hands locked up on the far side cradle. Erdman trying to fight away from that, is able to successfully. And again, it'll be Molitor looking for the far side cradle. Now he'll break the hips down again. Trying to get back to his base is Erdman. Did for a moment, then broken down again with 18 seconds left here in the first round. 2-0 lead for Thomas Molitor of Moses Lake. Got the arm barred up, and now tipping him over with 7 seconds left here in the round. Can Molitor hang on and get the pin, or will the time wind out? And it will, but it will be a 3-point near fall at the end of the first round for Thomas Molitor. So Wyatt Erdman, we have a timeout here going to be whistled as a blood timeout, as Molitor has a bloody nose, and so they'll start the clock. Our broadcast also brought to you tonight by Automoca. What's your Automoca emergency? Visit one of their 6 locations in the valley, including the only Automoca with inside seating on 5th Street across from the college. Also by Color Effects, offering screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, and logo design for your team, school, business, or church at a fair price. Locally owned for over 20 years, call Color Effects at 509-741-7609. And by Global Car Care, a quality auto repair facility with highly trained technicians. Celebrating 25 years in the car care business, they speak your car's language at 1840 North Wenatchee Avenue. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCWLIFE channel tonight as we had girls matches going on alongside the boys matches here. And in the varsity matches, it was pin or be pinned. That was the theme of the night, as Eastmont won by pin in 4 matches. Moses Lake won by pin in 3 matches. Winners for the Wildcats, Daniela Hernandez at 115, Giselle Keene at 130, Destiny Ross Ledbetter at 155, and Reina Valdivinos at 235, all winning by pin. For Moses Lake, the winners, Zoyana Dahlgren at 140, Kimberly Avila at 135, and Rosary Rodriguez at 110. Now the blood timeout is over, and we're back to wrestling here as we'll start the second round. And a nice 2 points. And look out, Erdman. He got a 2-point reversal, and then a 2-point reversal, and then a pin. Wow, look at that. The fortunes in a roll happen for Thomas Molitor. It'll be 18 seconds into the second round. Another win by pin here for the Moses Lake Chiefs. So Thomas Molitor over Wyatt Erdman. By the way, our score should have been 45-12 prior to that, and now it should be 51-12. So Molitor with the win. Hey, Johnny, I think you forgot to give points after this match here. So I believe it should be 51-12. Yep. Meanwhile, it is a 285-pound match Luke Harrison and Sebastian Rodriguez. The matchup here at 285. They're going to clean the mat first, though, as Luke Harrison of Eastmont will take on Sebastian Rodriguez of Moses Lake. So after the 182-pound match, it was 42-12 with the decision by Brian Guzman over Skylar Daw. Max Prazer lost that match, right, at 195? Yeah, so 45-12. No, I'm wrong. It's 40. It was 42-15, and it should be 47-15 because I think Prazer won that match, I believe. Here we go anyway at 285 as Luke Harrison and Sebastian Rodriguez wrestle at 285 pounds. So 6 points. 49-15. Yeah, 42, 42-15, 49-15. Okay. There's a Rodriguez getting the half in and taking Harrison right to his back as he leads it now 5-0, looking for the pin, and he will get that pin. 43 seconds remaining into the first round. So 117 into the first, win by pin, and that'll make it 55-15. Johnny, I led you astray there. 55-15 should be the score. Yep, sorry about that, buddy. And then another 6 points coming here for the Moses Lake Chiefs at 106. And that will be the match here tonight. So 61-15 will be the final score here this evening. So that will be the match here tonight. And again, a reminder, our match here brought to you by One Way Construction, Premier Custom Home Builders and Construction Company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consultation services online at onewayconstructionnw.com. Also by The Windmill, a time-tested restaurant providing traditional steakhouse meals and a homey old-fashioned dining room, open 7 days a week from 4:30 to 9. Call 509-665-9529. And Bio Sports Physical Therapy. They provide the best environment, most qualified, experienced therapists in North Central Washington. You have to choose the right, that is, to select your healthcare team. Why wouldn't you choose the best? Choose Bio Sports. Also by Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning. They service all brands of commercial and residential HVAC systems. Call 509-884-6444 for more information. So I think we're all wrapped up here. They've got JV matches that they're finishing with, but we will take a break and come back and conclude our broadcast as well here on the NCWLIFE channel. Thanks for joining us for Big Nine Wrestling tonight as the Moses Lake Chiefs knock off the Eastmont Wildcats 61-15, the final. We're back after this.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCWLIFE channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCWLIFE has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCWLIFE, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Können Sie mir das Problem sagen?
Meinen Zylinder überschwimmt. Flute, ich habe mein Fugen verloren.
Keine Sorge.
Global Car Care. We speak your car's language.
Fragen Schlüssel. How you?
Well, I got a leaky transmission, my head gasket's shot, and I could use some new brake pads.
That dog don't hunt.
Global Car Care. We speak your car or truck's language.
Hey everyone, did you know that the NCWLIFE channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCWLIFE has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCWLIFE, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
Choose the pros, Alignment Pros. When your vehicle needs brakes, shocks, struts, or alignment, choose the experts in their field. Alignment Pros and Express Lube with a 5-star rating. The work they perform on your vehicle is as impeccable as their shop. With state-of-the-art equipment, Alignment Pros can handle all large or small vehicles, specialty cars, lifted or lowered. Alignment Pros does them all. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Frapita mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frapita.
Definitely espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha Frapitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Welcome back one more time around here to Eastmont High School as the Eastmont Wildcats fall to the Moses Lake Chiefs by a final of 60-15. We had to do some more math to figure out exactly what the final score should have been. 60-15, the final, as Eastmont was giving up points early and often in this one as they started the match at 113 pounds on the straw draw before the match began, and that would be a forfeit win by Moses Lake. So they're already up 6-0 before you can turn around. 3 pins make that 4 pins in a row, made it a 30-0 match. Eastmont would try to come back with pins by Adrian Vivanco at 145 pounds and then by Cesar Sitio at 152 pounds. But the scoring would pretty much come to a drop at that point. So Wildcats would get one more win on the night at 195. Max Prazer with a 3-1 decision over Everett Ashley. But that would be all that the Eastmont Wildcats could do here tonight. Meanwhile, on the girls' side, however, it would be 4 wins by pin for the Wildcats to 3 wins by pin for Moses Lake. So the girls had a good night, boys, not so much. That's going to do it for our broadcast here this evening on the NCWLIFE channel. Thanks to our entire crew, to Chelsea Craig on the floor camera, to Jessica Medina up in the stands, also to Becca Freemuth back in the studios, and to Dan Kuntz, our line producer, and Marion Grandstrom for keeping track of all this matches going on with 2 matches going on at once. Thanks to her help. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Hope you enjoyed our wrestling broadcast tonight on the NCWLIFE channel, as it would be Moses Lake getting the better of Eastmont 60-15 the final. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching High School Sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Alignment Pros, Auto Mocha, Color FX, Global Car Care, One Way Construction, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Biosports Physical Therapy, and the Windmill Restaurant. This concludes today's coverage of high school sports on your home for local sports, the NCWLIFE channel.